All right, folks, happy Sunday. I don't know if you heard it, but a guy in Illinois, outside of Chicago here in the US, just won a mega amount of money, $1.3 billion outside of from the Mega Millions jackpot. This is the second largest $1 million, jackpot, $1.3 billion. So these guys obviously just get his tendies, all right? And he's finding himself in a very similar situation than what we in the next couple of, I don't know, months, years, whatever, will also be, because I don't care at which price you bought AMC stock. I don't care at which, the amount of, shares you're sitting on right now. In the midst or at the highest of the squeeze, there will be a price that the stock will hit. Then that will make more sense to you to say, you know what? It's time for me to get out because this amount of money I'm making right now will be enough for me to feel like I won the lottery. All right? Because yeah, it may not be $1 million because of your position size or because of the amount of shares you have. It may not be $1 billion. Maybe it's going to be 10 million. Maybe it's going to be 1 million. Even if it's just $100,000, the reality is if you've never handled $100,000 or even $10,000, let's just say you have 10 shares and those 10 shares grew to go from 500 to 10,000. If you never ever handled $10,000 before, it's gonna feel like you just won the lottery for $10,000. So the point is, with money, if you don't pay attention, you can end up squandering and squashing pretty much everything you had because the way we are built, having such a big windfall of money suddenly in our hands, if we are not prepared, we will do foolish things. The data backing this up is the fact that within 2 years' time, 90% of people winning the lottery end up in a worse situation before they even, won the ticket before. Why? Because they just spent. Most of them just spent. So I don't want you to be in this same situation because it's going to be very similar. A lot of people in AMC stock during the next squeeze are going to feel like I just won the lottery. So why go through the whole hassle, the nerve-wracking stress in waiting and waiting and waiting and dollar cost averaging and doing your research and making sure you're not a fool by buying and buying and buying, because at some point when this happens, people who thought you were a fool will now say that you were not. So you don't want to let that go, away. You don't want to let that go in trash. All that sweat, all that stress, all that work to go in the window just because you were not smart in approaching these things. Because the bottom line is, with money, you can only do 3 things. Outside of these 3 things, there is not much you can do. Either you can spend it, either you can save it, and by save, I mean invest it, or you can give it. Those are the 3 things you can do with money. So if you find something out of these 3, please let me know in the comment section, because I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. Now, of course, some people will quit the job, because they feel like I just won the lottery. Some people will not. Personally, I won't, because for me, work is really what, makes man sanity to be healthy. Mental health had a lot to do with, the being active. Now, you can be active and not getting paid for it, but as a matter of fact, I personally need to do something to feel valuable, to bring that I'm bringing something to the marketplace, to enhance or at least have some sort of, a change or impact in people's lives. So that's just for me, but some people it might be different. Now, the problem is, when it comes to spending, some people tend to spend a lot more than they have, all right? But at that time, that's why I think, by the time I'm selling my AMC stock, I want to make sure I don't have any debt left. I want to make sure I don't have any mortgage. Like right now, it's been almost a year now that, I'm living mortgage free because I was able to pay off the $300,000 that we paid for our house just 2 years ago, But I'm intending to do a lot more things that will allow me, or require me to take some debt. I'm not counting on AMC stock to be my cash out play, but when I sell out, I will make sure that I don't have any debt at all, because to me, debt prevent you from getting to the finish line when it comes to financial freedom. All right, why pay somebody else to make their dream come through while I can use that money to continue to grow my net worth, all right, and to do a lot more good in the world? So that's the first thing. The second thing, when it comes to saving, and this is something I talk a lot on this channel, and this is the bottom line, because you cannot just use that money. I don't care if it's $10 million that you made in AMC stock. I don't care if it's $100,000. I don't care if it's $10,000. Your next goal, my next goal, should be to make that money continue to grow. Make that money continue to have baby money. Make that money continue to bear fruits and interest that I can then live off of. All right. So we already know that putting that money away in a savings account, in a bank account, will not get me to the finish line. It will not get me to double. It will not get it to double, triple, or even quadruple or 10x in the next couple of years, or even long-term speaking, right? So I need to put it elsewhere. And for me, the stock market, besides the real estate market, besides the crypto market, is just a way for it. But the calculation behind this is the exact same thing. So I'm going to share with you this, and it comes to investing. So don't take it just for the stock market, but take it as the return rate on investment I can have in order to continue to grow my money. So let's just say you just made $100,000, all right, $100,000, and you are 25 years old. This is the median average age, I believe, across people holding AMC stock, the Apes, all right, the retail investors. So let's just say you're 25. So between 25 now, after 20 years old, you will be 45. So let's just say 20 years old at a return rate of 12%. So each year, I don't care if you put that money in crypto. I don't care if you put your money in real estate. I don't care if you put it in the stock market, or you put it in the business. Or if you put everything, you split everything and put, across the board, because you want to diversify. A 12% return rate on your investment every year in the next 12 years, if you don't put any money in addition to this, at the end of the next 12 years, you will end up with, boom, $1 million. So the $100,000 you just started with, all right, will give you $1.89 million. Now, if you add to this, let's just say you pay off, let's just say after you paid off everything, you have, I don't know, $70,000. Or let's just say after you paid everything, you have 100, all right? And then on top of these 100, because you have the ability to make a lot more money off of some of the interest, you just put $500 each month in addition to that. Just $500 each month in addition to that, all right? It will give you, I'm sorry, guys. It will give you how much? Boom, $1.6 million. And keep in mind, these $1.6 million every year, you can take just 1% of it, to do something or to enjoy life, all right? Because remember, you need to also spend that money. So the bottom line here for me, guys, is it doesn't matter how much money we will make in this game, in this play, in this stock, after the mother of all short squeezes, not to end up in a bad situation like 90% of people who do, because you will feel like winning the lottery. We need to make sure we are smart. And this is the approach I'm taking, and I hope it inspires someone out there that is actually thinking about this, because we need to think about this. The time to think about it is not when you have the money, because it will be easier to squander everything, right? So the time is now. So start thinking now, and let me know in the comment section if this makes sense to you. Otherwise, if you have any other idea, I'm happy to take it on. Thanks, folks.